Okay, I am recording this video live, but I'm going to pretend like it's not live because I'm just trying to get it out. So, gosh, what a day. Where to start? It's so lovely. I'm going to pull over our Discord real fast. I want to show you guys something first. This was yesterday. We need today. So at 8:40 this morning, which is 50 minutes before the market opens, I said potential outside day for NQ and possibly ES. And the reason I said NQ and possibly ES was because NQ was showing relative strength this morning over all four futures. I'll explain why in a minute. Then I posted this 12 minutes before the market opened and said we have a simultaneous 4-hour reversal into pivot machine gun. And again, what that means is a bunch of things doing the same thing at the same time. So a bunch of things being all four futures doing the same thing, being 2 down, 2 up reversals at the same time, all in force at the same time. Okay. And pivot machine gun is a bunch of lower highs, right? So lower high, well, higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So this is a terrible screenshot of that one, but they all look the same. So we were targeting outside day. If you don't know what an outside day is, it means it's basically a bullish engulfing candle. So we take out yesterday's low and then we start coming back through the range. We are looking to take out yesterday's high. So we were targeting, oh, I don't even have it in the picture. Ugh, that was a bad screenshot. That was my bad. I get excited. So all the futures are potential. This is how we like shorthand talk, all with potential 3 days. So all potential outside days. And then, so the cool thing about futures is we start the day every day looking at futures. Now I have bar replay on because I wanted to show you what we were seeing before the market opened. I don't know how well this is going to work. Not well at all. But the thing to note, I hate bar replay. I'm just going to stop it. The thing to note, I know if there's a lot going on the charts, but you remember when I posted the simultaneous 4-hour break? So that had gone in force, which means we took out yesterday's lows, but started reclaiming this previous day's range. And so when that happens, so like say your magnitude on a 2 down is whatever it is, like that wasn't going to happen today. But say you have a magnitude and it fails to stay in force, your new magnitude becomes to become an outside day. So that's how come like an hour before open, we were able to call this target up here because there's only 3 candle types. And we know how outside bars form is you take out one side. We talk about this all the time. When you fail one side of a range can be a candle. A range can be a swing high to swing low. You just have to understand what you're looking at and how outside bars happen. So we knew once we triggered that 4-hour, we're going outside day, which is to come up here and take out yesterday's highs. Let me delete all that crap. Okay. The other cool thing. So we're always looking at futures. Now, this morning, all the indices opened inside day. And most traders are like, I'm probably not going to trade it. There's no actionable signal. It's inside day. DIA wasn't. It's not doing anything. But with the context of the futures, and the futures are the leader. So the indices trade based on what the futures are doing. So knowing that we have a strong likelihood, we have a strong likelihood of all the futures going outside day. What does that mean? Even if you don't trade futures, and I didn't even trade futures today. I actually traded QQQ calls. I just didn't have my platform open, and I wanted to get in at the open. I just wasn't ready with futures. But knowing that we're going for potential outside days, what does that mean? So the target means we're going to take out Wednesday's high. That's the target for ES. That's well, we had two targets for NQ because we went outside week as well, which is another reason this would have worked. And what happened on the weekly is exactly what happened on the daily. We failed the inside week down and reclaimed the inside bar, and we went outside week. So it's the same thing. The strat is fractal. So you look to the futures for clues. That's the go-to. So they're the leaders. So potential outside days for all of them. The two on the right, RTY and YM, much weaker. We saw very early on NQ was the strongest, and it performed the best today. So if you don't trade futures, what can you do with this information? So I said, if you're not playing futures, if you're playing the Qs, look for, well, we had a 1 hour to trigger the 4 hour. And since the target on the futures was Wednesday's high, you go to Qs, you know the target for the Qs is at least 463, preferably 465 to go outside week. So you can play, and that's what I do if I'm trading options. I'm looking at futures, but trading Qs or SPY. I rarely trade IWM options. I just like Qs and SPY better. But so knowing that we're going to go outside day, you know that your magnitude already is, we'll call it 464, because you can get an option contract on the dollar. So 464. That is actually what I played. Let me go back to the Discord. So I said Qs, the 1 hour to trigger the 4 hour to target yesterday's highs, because we knew the NQ was going to yesterday's highs. So you can pick your magnitude here. Let me make that a little bit bigger. This was yesterday's highs, the 463.38. And we had a domino trade. We had a 60-minute to trigger the 4 hour. I didn't even get into the great domino for the futures yet. I'm a bit excited. It was a great day. Let me show you the Qs. Right here. So we start with the higher time frame. So you go to the 4 hour. We had a 2 down. So we were looking for a 2 up this morning. Then you whittle your way down. Go to the 1 hour. Do you have an actionable signal that can trigger the 4 hour? Yes, you do. Look at this. You have a slight lower low. That's a TTO, corrective activity. Okay. You had a 2 down, 2 up reversal that gapped up a little bit. So what I did, like shortly after the open, you can see I have the open marked at 456.48. Tick down. I let it go red. I didn't do anything. I didn't jump into it right at the open, because anytime we're trading below the open, like that wick, this candle is red. Once we get back above the open, it's green. That's a continuity flip or a red to green move. As soon as we went green, I longed the 464 calls because I knew we were at least going outside day on NQ. I had hoped we would go outside week, which we did do. But you can see here, the 1 hour, right here. This is the 4 hour chart, but that's the 1 hour trigger. So the 1 hour triggered the 4 hour 2-2 reversal. If you know the strat, you know the target is here. And then we're always doing higher time frame analysis. The weekly target was here. So it was just awesome. Okay, let's go look at the domino setup that was on the futures. So we had that 4-hour simultaneous break, which is right here. This is the 4-hour chart on all of them. Trying to make them big. So you can see that's the 4-hour trigger. It's the first time we get a higher high on the 4-hour candle. So that's the 2 down, 2 up reversal. So that's the 4-hour. But we had gone to the 12-hour. We knew that we had a 12-hour potential 2 down, 2 up. So this is a domino trade where you enter at the 4-hour trigger to trigger the 12-hour trigger to target outside day magnitude. It was just awesome. And let's look at SPY, because SPY actually went outside week first. Same thing. Remember how I was talking about range? So we all know 212 down is how we started the week. So your magnitude, and I actually said on Monday's stream, I go, I don't think we're getting down here. I said, what seems more likely to me is we fail and we go outside week. I can try and pull up the clip, but just trust me, lots of people to verify this is what I said, so just believe it. But it's the same thing. So when you fail one side of the range, this inside week being your range, unable to stay below it, where are we going? We're going to the other side. And the thing about the strat and it being so fractal is this works on any time frame. So it was just an awesome, awesome morning. So we had the 4-hour to trigger the 12-hour to go outside day, to go outside week. I can even pull up more. Okay, so I said here at 9:33, NQ hits the second 4-hour target and triggers the 12-hour reversal up. So see, 2 down, 2 up. Where are we going? Up here and hopefully up here. And again, a domino. So we had the 4-hour to trigger the 12-hour to hit outside day magnitude. And this is so funny. Like, I can say this little of words and everybody knows what I'm talking about. So NQ was the only one. This is at 9:34. So 4 minutes after market open. NQ, only one to trigger the 12-hour so far. NQ relative strength. ES and RTY. ES or RTY will be next to trigger. YM super weak. NQ almost to next pivot target, target. Okay, RTY triggers the 12-hour next. So we had simultaneous 4-hour triggers and 12-hour triggers, which is very powerful when everything's doing the same thing at the same time. Here I say just a couple targets left. The outside day, then the outside week. Outside day being up here, outside week being here. And mind you, this was a 5-minute chart. Like, this thing just ran. It was really nice. And I even bought next day contracts. I got over 100% on them. Completely stress-free. I took some profit along the way. I think especially when we hit this one and then we got a 2-2 reversal. It was the first one. So I didn't want it to like pivot machine gun. And then I held the rest break even until we got outside day. And then I was like, my day's done. And I was done in an hour. So really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Really cool strat stuff. And you'll see now NQ has gone outside week. Actually, I think RTI or RTY was the very first one to go outside week. Then it was ES. Then it was NQ. So they all kind of like took turns with their little strength. Again, like I said this morning, YM very weak comparatively because nowhere near outside week yet. So that's all good and great. Like, today was great trading, but what happens for next week? Next week, how many trading days? 4. We have 4 trading days left in the week, so we'll see where we close. But next week, as we sit right now, we are much closer to 3-2 continuation up on the week. The thing about 3-2s is you got to stay above the high of the 3. Otherwise, you risk a double 3s, like a double outside bar. So really good stuff. I hope you guys did well this morning. And that's really all I wanted to say. And yeah, hope you guys crushed today, and we will see you around.